Hello everyone, it is I, Savant 2.0. Today we will be reviewing INFEKT, also known as Christian Feel's new EP, High Score. Chris is no stranger to the rhythm scene, so of course, and this is his third release on Disciple Roundtable this year. First being the Alien Technology 6-track EP, second being Boombox / Rewind, which is a small 2-track EP. Now it's another 6-track EP. So anyways. The first track off the EP, of course, starts with an arcade-style theme that most likely consists of sounds related to Mortal Kombat, and I'm a huge fan of that retro shit. Containing not only the classic vocoded INFEKT signature bass patch, but also laser-pitch sounds. The intro mainly being slight background appreciated square 8-bit sounds with arcade lasers, already sets the scene for the entire EP. B-drop is a nice switch up from the A-drop. The dialogue is subtly funny as well. The interlude, however, has the absence of bass, which is intended of course. Unfortunately, it sounds a bit empty, so maybe insert a little bass like a low-fret chorus sample. Anyways, good track. Oh, for fuck's sake, hard trap, really. Just my opinion, but it's not my taste, and you may judge me on my bias. The bell sounds are nice and all, but it's a turn off for me. Maybe make the rap verse more clear to hear. Luckily, that only lasts for a 24-second introing interlude. This time we are met with a unique sound, which the rhythm I cannot describe too well. It's that sound. Another notable sound is that high-pitched sound asterisk. This is decent, and a new approach by Christian to insert trap music into this, which honestly doesn't do the track the justice it's already made. Ah yes, band pass metal with tribal drums. Then on the second half of that intro, that tribal quarter note bass patch though, it really sets the scene for some US Marshals about to take on some gruesome zombies, while withholding that INFEKT taste. Screaming build-up sample, and then this U sound is just orgasmic to hear. Really an epic comeback from Rumble. Sure, it does sound a bit similar to Morta's style of bass synthesis. Then the quarter note variant makes the rhythm stand out even more. But then we get back to the half note simplicity toward the middle of the track, which definitely prevents the track from lying too far out. B-drop pretty much the same, but there are already enough sounds in the first drop to deal with. Could have played a bit that would have been a nice riff to carry on, which unfortunately doesn't last long, but nonetheless favorite one so far. For this one, the main bass patch is a bit more deeper, in octave, or at least how you say it. Oh, but this sound here. The chorus effect on this sound brightens the grittiness of this bass. Aside from that, the intro and interlude consists of a very familiar vocal sample that is on the tip of my nose but can't name. Is it part of an eliminated track? Anyways, the cowbell, layered with an 808, kind of makes me laugh. And I sort of wish there was a bit more effort in making these parts sound more wholesome rather than inserting some silly percussion, which it's not to be put in a bad way, since it does fill that section quite a bit, but too simple.
Peasant.
Do not forget to eat your fruits and veggies.
Christian's charming voice never grows old. However, I do not like to feel rushed when being told the mall is closing and to eat his vegetables. Jokes aside, the percussion loop catches my ear. A little bit of 808 in there, but that little hats along with the wet kick and snare fits perfectly with the atmosphere, as if you are in a grocery store, which I haven't come to realize till now. The drop, the sound design is so crispy and really fills in the mix up, with the background robot high-pitched sound playing from time to time. Also, there's a bit of a subtle reverb from the patch to create a bit more space. A little loop of cymbals in the background playing in the second half of that drop. The theme definitely gives me the feeling of fighting a slimy monster that I just found in the aisle I'm in, trying to get my last groceries before the store closes. One of my favorites, tying with Showtime. Lastly, this track. Is it a raining outside sample in the beginning I hear? I can't make out its sound. But so far, the intro consists of a telephone ringing sound, a vacuum sound, and a high-end subway train sound. Just slightly before 30 seconds the drop already hits 6 notes of deep dub sounds layered with sort of the same sounds from the beginning, and that works as a nice theme for this track. I mean, beside that, there are some other interesting sounds with half-over 8 modulation going on here, including some laser sounds. Sure, there is not much hype in this one, but there is quite a bit to consume in terms of different combinations of oscillators. One minor flaw right as the B drop hits is that the frequencies are a little harsh that only plays for that amount of time, but that's no significant takeaway from this track. In conclusion of how this EP showcases its highlights and downfalls, definitely the trap intro to Rumble is a negative. The appeal to hip-hop fans is there, but mumble rap, really? Not to bash on the genre, but there is no need to stretch your experimental horizons too much. Sort of my bias, but I cannot understand what the fuck he is saying. However, on a higher note, the laser sounds in the first track, to the coded sound design carefully sprinkled throughout high score, to the frog-style bass patches in shop, metal experimentation and odd profit-inspired sounds, it all comes together as a not too extreme approach in sound design, but definitely keeps some music fans spread across a few genres listening, if they are able to block out the hard trap and deal with sort of repetitiveness, which is not really a bad thing, but one of INFEKT's higher traits of being signed a disciple. I had trouble grasping that ideal from Christian sound, but this EP is a welcoming project that has thrived me to check out older stuff from the guy. However, be sure to check out the high score EP out on Disciple Roundtable now. Hope you enjoyed my second review. Feel free to give feedback on commentary advice as well as your own opinion of the new EP. And I will see you dubstep headbangers and fans in another video of analysis and review. This has been episode 2. Farewell.